Today, I'm taking you, the viewer, out and about to catch up with Tyler Butler and get your frequently asked questions answered. So come on in and let's take a gander. Tyler, thank you so much for allowing me to do this. As we have talked about before, there are people that have a lot of questions that they want to know all about out and about. So now it's my turn to turn the tables on you and pick your brain.
All right, Heather, I say we go right on in and we take a gander and we do a little comfort, right?
Yeah, this is going to be us being all ourselves and answering your questions.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, we are inside with Tyler Butler. So to give you an idea of what we're doing, I particularly am so frequently asked questions about out and about, and I never want to mess those answers up. So I've been telling Tyler for a while now, our viewers have questions. We are a part of your life if you invite us into your home or watch us on your phone. So let's set the record straight, turn the tables. I get to do the interview.
Oh God, I'm totally scared.
And this is going to be us a little more candid, a little more ourselves, which I would say is not goofy, but it is. So, okay, I'm going to start with the number one question. What brought about out and about? What was the concept, and how did you get started with this?
So I got started, I'm actually a butler by trade. So I started my butler service a long time ago, and maybe 20 years ago, I guess.
When you were 12.
When I was 10. So I had some clients, some really good clients of mine that I was providing a butler service for that were in the media world, owning a huge platform of chains of networks. And they had asked me, they thought I was so personal with my personality. They thought, hey, why don't you do something with your personality? Why don't you expand that out? You'd be really great on camera. And that's where I got into telling them. Actually, they asked me if I had ever done anything on camera. And I said, actually, I have. My friend Jason Galhouse had went missing. And I learned a lot of things about media and how all media works, doing a lot of interviews trying to find out where he was at. And that's where I came up with Sarasota Socialites. The concept was where I could go into different venues around town and basically interview the owners and bring a group of people that were actually able to tell themselves what they thought about the food in the restaurants and interact that way. And then we had a limo at the time that we would transport our guests to different locations and make it like a pub crawl. So it was a lot of fun. We did that for about a year and a half. I put my own money into it. It was completely free. It was a sponsored event, so that meant the venue that we went to provided all the drinks and the food. And so we kind of channeled that into out and about. And that's where that came from, because I thought if we're able to interview and do the Facebook live feeds on that level, why not channel into doing like retail and what's going on around town? And I created a different concept of doing that without having a group of people involved and able to do more a one-on-one with the owners of these places.
Okay, got it. So the next question, because our viewers, I may or may not have made a Facebook post about what they want to ask you. So one of the questions is, how much do you charge for red carpet events?
So our red carpet events we generally do for charity. So we go to all the nonprofit organizations. Sarasota is very charitable. So what I did was I created a concept of doing red carpet. Since nobody else was out there doing the red carpet, I thought, God, this would be a great way for us to kind of go in and talk about this and do it on camera, do it on a bigger platform, and make it stylish, get dressed up, as everybody likes to do in Sarasota. We like to get dressed up and go out and find out more about the organizations and what it actually takes to put these things together, these galas and big events, and actually have some way to be able to expose it and tell people about it, because there really is no other way other than pictures and Facebook and doing a more informal invite. So I thought this would be a great way to kind of network that together. And at the same time, we were able to use like a step and repeat and show the people that have backed our product and our business of Out and About.
And how much is that? How much do you charge for red carpet was the question.
Well, free. It's absolutely free. So we do all the nonprofit stuff we do for free. Yeah.
Free. Because it's nonprofit, and what most of our viewers hopefully by now know is you're huge on giving back to the community, and it's about exposing that charity, as you said. So there is no cost for a red carpet event. If you show up, you are there out of the kindness of your heart, and you don't say enough about yourself. That's where I come in, and I get to say nice things about him. Okay, the next question is, how would one go about being on the show as far as promoting their business? How would they contact you? How would they go about it? And how much is the cost?
So we actually will go to restaurants and different venues. Generally, we like to go out, especially if we've never been there, or we've had viewers that have asked, have we ever been there or done it? We'll have people ask us, can we do it? So generally what we do is we go by what the viewers want. So that's really how it works. It's free. We don't charge for that. The way that the show makes money or is able to afford to do what we do is by sponsorship. And so there's different levels and different tiers of sponsorship. So you can either do commercial inserts. So there's 8 to 10 commercial inserts you can do. Those videos will be placed into different videos of content that we do on a weekly basis. And then there's other options, which would be our step and repeat for our red carpet events. That's an annual thing. It goes on our step and repeat sign that's, at all the events like you were talking about, from the nonprofit and grand openings and that sort of thing. And that's how we package it.
Well, and one of the things that I notice when you and I go into a business, as soon as people ask, how much is this? You do not push anything, and the first thing you say is, this is our sponsorship form if you're interested, but first, wait, let me show you that I can promote your business. People do watch our show, they like our show, and that's how I got involved, was actually just from watching the show. And restaurants I'd never heard of before. I've only been in Sarasota for 8 years, but there are people that have been lifelong residents, and Sarasota is known for their arts, and part of that arts is the culinary arts. We have so many fantastic restaurants that are just all across the board, all different budgets, and they're all excellent, but they do come and go, and the restaurant business is tough. So when the new restaurants come in, you're not going to hear about them unless they put a ton of money into advertising and grand openings. So that is the wonderful thing. And while we're talking about restaurants, tell us a little bit about the Sarasota Sally Dining Club and how you are involved with that.
Right. Well, we're going to get a chance actually to talk to Sally and find out a little bit more personal things from her as well. But just to give you an insight, when we first started Out and About, we generally just based it on restaurants. So we just did restaurants, and Sally has been a trooper from the very beginning. We've been with Sally. She has over 10,000 foodies that are part of the Sarasota Sally Dining Club. It's free. It's a great concept. It was great to kind of do some stuff with her because she could kind of put a spin in a different direction that we could do. And it was a great, marriage that we had between us. So it really worked, and it's still working. We don't do it every day. Now what we do is we feature retail stores, we feature events, we feature what's going on, private businesses, and what's going on around town. Everybody asks me, where to go, what to do entertainment-wise.
Okay, we will be right back after these messages, and we're going to come back with more answers from Tyler Butler, so stay tuned.
Raw Edge Consignment, 7216 South San Diego Road.
Okay, Tyler, next question. One of our viewers would like to know, what is your favorite interview, and who did you learn the most from in an interview, the most interesting interview. So those are 3 questions that are pretty much the same.
Well, that's an interesting question. I actually really enjoyed the Lander sisters who live here in Sarasota. They were on the Love Boat, the plane, Fantasy Island.
Yes,
Do you remember that?
yes.
Of course, I was only 2 when I watched that. But they were from the Love Boat, Dallas.
Okay.
And they were so interesting. They invited me and an old co-host over to their property, and we were able to do a sit-down one-on-one. If you've not seen it, scroll back, find it, go on our YouTube page. It's there, the Lander sisters. And they have this giant wall of all the archives of all the different stars that they were photoed with and had filmed with. And I mean, Dallas is pretty big.
Yes.
I mean, they actually came back again. I don't know if it's still airing now, but the Lander sisters, they live here as well as many other stars, which brings us to another conclusion of my statement earlier. Working with as a butler in so many different homes, I've been able to meet some really big names and really big people and work for them as well. I'm just waiting for the day to have the courage to be able to ask them to interview them, because I have a little bit more pride than want to ask them, because I'm sure that happens to them all the time.
Of course it does. Next question. What is your favorite vacation place, and where would you like to travel that you have never been?
Well, I would like to probably go to Amsterdam. I haven't been to Amsterdam yet. And one of my places that I've traveled that I enjoyed Nevis, and I also I enjoyed New Hope, Pennsylvania. It's an old city, and I travel there with work, and I have made a lot of friends there, and I really like it there. I think it's a really interesting town.
Okay, well, there are a ton more questions on here, but some of them are generally for the 2 of us.
Okay.
One wants to know if you and I are related, or are we lifelong friends?
Well, we will be lifelong friends, but no, we're not related. We kind of wonder if we're related, though, don't we?
We do. Answer that question also. No, we are not related, but we are both Floridians, and we grew up very similar with our backgrounds.
Southern
yes, we're
Shug.
very Southern Shug. So when we did meet, I guess you could say that we instantly had a chemistry, and that's how I came to be on the show. But we'll talk about that when it's my turn. So that kind of goes to another question. How long have you lived in Sarasota? And if you aren't originally from here, what brought you here?
Yeah, I've been in Sarasota for, shouldn't I say 18 years? I'm only 33, so that means that I came here when I was... No, I have been here for 18 years. I'm from the Tampa Bay area, and I never thought I would ever be here. It was a retirement community is what I always felt like it was. However, it's been a successful place to live. I've created so many different concepts and ideas, and it's been amazing. It really has. Tampa was really like the party city, the place to go when you wanted somewhere to go, a club to go to every single night. And Sarasota was kind of laid back at that time, but it has changed. We have a huge amount of young people here now, and we have clubs and bar scenes and things that really weren't there 18 years ago for the young.
So, okay, Tyler, thank you so much. I really appreciate you allowing me to change this up a little bit, a different concept, but as
Nose around in my business, you mean?
Yes, but we do go so many places, and we are asked questions, and sometimes we're busy, and you can't always answer those things, and it's important also for you to be able to talk about what you do. At least I feel like it is, and that's why I came up with this idea that I can't believe you let me spotlight you, so thank you for that.
And I can't wait to interview you. And that segment will be on our next post and our next show. So you got to stay tuned for that, because you don't want to miss it. And everybody else will also get their turn as well.
Yes, yes. So we definitely have a ton of questions. I gave Tyler kind of the basic ones so he could talk about his brainchild here, but there's some doozies that we have on here, and we're going to save those for Cha-Cha and Sally.
That's right. That's right. All right. So that'll bring it to the end of a segment then, right?
Yes, we are finished. I get to do that now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so that brings this, I don't know how he does it, to the end of a segment. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again when we are out
and about Sarasota.
He did my part. Take care. We'll see you soon. What are we doing?
You're going to close.
Out and About Sarasota, made possible by these fine sponsors. This has been an Out and About media production, product of Sarasota Socialites.